Hello and welcome to another edition of Citi News Daily on Citi TV. Coming up, Osei-Owusu denies any role in the alleged bribery allegations after he appeared before the ad hoc committee set to investigate the matter. The details of this shortly. Do stay. To our first story, and the chairman of Parliament's Appointment Committee, Osei-Owusu, has denied receiving any money from the Energy Minister, Osei-Owusu, to induce members of his committee. Boko Central MP Mahama Ayariga alleged that the then Energy Minister-nominee, Osei-Owusu, sought to bribe them with 3,000 Ghana cedis to induce them to unanimously approve his nomination at the time. An ad hoc committee was subsequently set up by Parliament to investigate this allegation following a petition by the Boko Central MP, Mahama Ayariga, North Tong MP, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, and MP for Tamale North, Al-Hassan Suhini, to the Speaker of Parliament requesting thorough investigation into the bribery allegation. Speaking at the first hearing today, Osei-Owusu said he was innocent of all the allegations. And to our next story, where the minority in Parliament says it will be too hasty for government to use the Heritage Fund component in the Petroleum Management Act only 6 years after it was set up. The fund was set up to support the country's future generations when the oil reserves are depleted. 9% of the country's annual petroleum revenue is paid into the fund. The senior minister, Osei-Owusu, yesterday hinted of government's plans to finance its free senior high school policy from the Heritage Fund, whilst a similar intent by the previous administration was fiercely opposed to by the party. Meanwhile, the campaign coordinator for ISODEC, Dr. Steve Manteao, who was part of the committee that drafted the Oil Revenue Management Act, says the reason for setting up the fund will not be realized if the money is spent on financing the free SHS policy. And away from that, the Minister of Education, Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, has pleaded with the police in the Ashanti region to release over 30 students who were detained last night. The students were arrested for rioting and causing damage to public property. They blocked the road from their Macomb runabout in a jubilant mood after placing third in the inter-school sports competition at the Kumasi Stadium. Their action caused heavy traffic and inconveniences for motorists. The police fired gunshots and tear gas to disperse the students who were said to have resisted the police attempt to calm the situation. Speaking to Citi News, the Ashanti Regional Police Commander, ACP Ampofuduku, says the students will be granted bail following the request of the minister. Meanwhile, over 40 students sustained various degrees of injuries, including deep cuts on their eyes, ribs, and thighs. 16 of them are still on admission, while the rest have been discharged. The Minister of Health, Kwaku Asomah-Cheremeh, has ordered the Registrar of the Health Facilities and Regulatory Agency, Dr. Sylvia Anne, to step aside following allegations of misappropriating some 2 million Ghana cedis. In a letter dated 1st February 2017 cited by Citi News, the minister directed the registrar to hand over to the chief director with immediate effect, pending thorough investigations. Meanwhile, the registrar has defied the directive by the minister and is still at post signing official documents as at 10th February 2017. And finally, to the Brong Ahafo region, where chiefs in that region have reconciled with the regional minister-nominee Kwaku Asomah-Cheremeh after they cut him off for allegedly disrespecting them. During the 2016 election campaign, the Sunyani chief, Nana Bosoma, pledged 80% votes for the NDC. But Mr. Asomah-Cheremeh, the MPP's regional chairman then, reportedly scolded the chief, saying the constitution prohibits them from engaging in active partisan politics. But speaking to Citi News, Asomah-Cheremeh's aide, Maxwell Mahama, said an apology has been rendered to the chiefs. Meanwhile, the Krontihine for the Sunyani Traditional Council, Nana Boamponsem, says they have pledged their support to work with the minister to develop that region. And that's how we end today's edition of Citi News Daily on Citi TV. My name is Zoe Abu-Baidoo. Thank you for watching.